All right, guys. Well, welcome back. Like I said, I missed you guys. It's been a long time since I've actually got the chance to stream. Been a little sick. I had a little while there where I didn't really want to play Magic very much because I just wasn't enjoying a lot of the formats. Uh, and now I'm starting to get back into it, kind of feeling at home in most of my formats that I play regularly. And today, what we're gonna do. Uh, we're going to be playing some Omnath Niv. So, like, Niv has been a deck for a while. It's kind of been a roller coaster type deck of it's gone up where it was really good. People were like, oh, it's the best deck in the format. And then, fell back down and was like, oh, no, it's just a tier 2 archetype. And every set, this deck gets new cards from the multicolored pool of different things that can go in here. The most recent things that it's gotten, things like Teferi Time Raveler and Niv that actually made the deck a thing. But then in similar things that were in standard, Unmoored Ego, Deafening Clarion, Uro came out. And then going along with a lot of these other things like Assassin's Trophy too, all these other good cards that were in multicolors that have already been around modern for a long time. Things like Supreme Verdict, Lightning Helix, and then most recently, the biggest addition has been Omnath Locus of Creation. So this card, it's everything but a black. For a 4/4 ETBs draws a card, so already a pretty good rate there. But then it has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. It's the first time you've done that. Second time, you add its CMC, so red, green, white, blue, to your mana pool. And then the third time, it does 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. Not creatures, so it's not a board wipe. But this card is just absolutely insane. You can have some bonkers turns with it where you just untap with 4 mana, play Omnath, and then play a fetch land, and then immediately you have 5 mana to cast a Bring to Light or a Niv or an Uro into another 3 drop or a Teferi Time Raveler, Kai's Guile, Maelstrom Pulse, whatever, coupled with a Wrenn 6 or a Lightning Helix, something like that. So the turns with Omnath are absolutely busted. Other than that, this deck is just a value 5-color good stuff deck. We're playing for Lightning Helix just because it's a really good removal spell in this deck and a great way to keep your life total high. Uh, Assassin's Trophy, just another great answer as well. Uh, Lightning Helix also has the benefit of being a win condition for our game plan of attacking, but also with Wrenn 6 Ultimate. Wrenn 6 is great in this deck as a way to get back your fetch lands. We do play, I believe we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fetch lands out of our 26 lands in the deck. So we're going to be fetching a lot. We're going to be doing a lot of that. This makes sure that we're always triggering our Omnath twice. It makes sure that we're making our land drops. And I think Wrenn 6 is one of the most vital parts of this deck. And then we have 2 Glittering Wishes that are just a way to go wish out of our board, and we'll get to our wish targets later when we go over the sideboard. We also have 4 Utopia Sprawls just as a way to accelerate. We have lots of forest in the deck that we can fetch for. Most of our shocklands are forest, as well as we have 2 forest triomes and a normal basic forest. On top of that, going up to the 3 drops, 2 Teferi Time Ravelers. This card's just great. Kai's Guile is a great utility card. Unmoored Ego is a way that we can beat combo decks because that's one thing this deck really does struggle against. Uh, yeah, little Rugard. The card is busted good. I agree. Omnath is insane. I think this card single-handedly made this deck tier 1, and I'm excited to try it out. And back to this, Maelstrom Pulse is just another good source of removal. Same with Deafening Clarion. 3 Uros, just a great grindy card. We've seen what Uro can do in the format. 1 Supreme Verdict, and 3 Omnaths, 3 Bring to Lights, 3 Niv Mizzets. And then we have our crazy 5-color mana base. We have a bunch of shocklands, various. We have 1 of each basic, bunch of fetch lands, couple triomes. Pretty good mana base though, when all is said and done, surprisingly. And then moving over to our sideboard, we have a couple of things. Thoughtseize is a very good card for us to bring in for those combo matchups and other things like that. Also pretty decent against control, as is Veil of Summer. Where pretty much if we can resolve one Niv or have one Omnath turn, we're probably pretty good in those matchups to be able to do well. Uh, we also have a Will of Sun and Moon, an Assassin's Trophy, Fire Spout, Unmoored Ego, so a couple Ashioks. All of these are wish targets, as well as Teferi, Time Raveler, and Supreme Verdict, and our fourth copy of Niv Mizzet. That way we have some protection from extraction effects. So if they do extract our three in the main, we can Glittering Wish for our other one out of the sideboard. We have a couple main deck cards in here that we also have in the sideboard. It's just as a way to be able to wish for them. Also, sometimes there's going to be times where we want to bring them in because they're just good in the matchup. But most of the time, Glittering Wish is actually staying in when we have certain ones of these cards that we really want because it's two copies rather than one. As long as we don't need that card, like Wheel of Sun and Moon, as long as we don't need it on turn 2, we're probably fine. So let's go ahead and get rolling and get into the league here. So, Modern League. And this deck also, a lot of people that are very popular in the MTG community have been having success with it. So I do think this is a real archetype, and I'm excited to try it out and get to see how busted Omnath is. We don't need our sideboard. That's from back when I was playing stuff that wished a little bit more than this. Kind of weird to have the 5-land Wrenn and 6 hand, but I kind of like it. I mean, we have all of our colors. We're guaranteed. I mean, we have all of our colors. I mean, I think we keep this. I don't think it's great, but I mean, we have some interaction. We have all of our colors. I think we roll as this. It's not a great hand, and we're on the draw too. So as long as we don't draw into more lands, we're probably fine. That's all we really don't want to see. Oh no. Well, this is actually pretty good against this deck. For those of you who don't know, oh, Ketria Triumph. That's not what we wanted. So I think we're actually going to go. Let's see. If we go back over here, just to show my newbiness with the deck, Inditha Triumph is the Abzan land, so that we can get that off of one of our wooded foothills, and this way they don't really know what we're on. But we can get that end of turn and then play a Wrenn to possibly ping something, or we can have Lightning Helix for next turn. Okay, double Ghost Quarter. Well, let's go get our Inditha Triumph. Second Wrenn. Okay, that's not necessarily what we wanted to see. So here, I think I'm just going to hold up Helix. That way we don't get blown out by a Leonin Arbiter. I guess they could technically put the Arbiter in and then Ghost Quarter us. I guess we could pay the 2 on both, really. So it's not really that big of a deal. So, like, if they activate their Vial here, we're not going to fetch here. And we definitely want to prioritize not getting our basics out because they have double Ghost Quarter. So we're likely going to be going for Shocklands. Double Ghost Quarter Vial is an interesting keep. That's for sure. So, like, if they activate Vial, I'm likely fetching in response. So this only gets, like, super blown out by the... it's probably correct to have fetched earlier. I only get super blown out though by double arbiter, so like plains double arbiter. Just the mono colorless draws, okay. They're gonna ghost quarter their own field of ruin. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and fetch here. Yeah, this is totally fine. Because if they pay, I get to cert. Oh, they waited till mine resolved. That's dumb. Oh. Oh, they didn't. Oh, well, that's totally fine. I'm totally fine with that. They have no lands. They literally have a... Yeah, I think that was a punt by them. They should have just let mine resolve, paid for theirs. But yeah, they have no lands. And we have lots of land, so like next turn we can just kill this Arbiter and then I would love to draw like a something else. Okay, so let's just play Pillar to keep our life total high. And let's go... We can wait here just to see what they do. No reason to get hasty. They left it at 2. Okay, another Arbiter. Totally fine. This is actually an interesting matchup that's started to come up a lot more. Alright, Field of Ruin. I'm just going to go ahead and hit one of these. I'm worried about another Ghost Quarter, possibly. Really, I don't think it matters if I get the Ren down. I just don't think they can clock it fast enough. So let's just play tapped Temple Garden and play Ren. That's going to force them to try and clock this Wren, but I get a land back in hand. And I can even get this Triumph too. I like that. All the Leonin Arbiters in the world. They're going both at Wren. Okay, that's fine. Let's let this soak up some damage. Archon. Can't cast more than one spell each turn. Not by Slinge. Enter tapped. Totally fine. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. Okay, so I think we just set up here for so let's just kill the Archon. Yeah, kill the Archon. And then we can play Overgrown Tomb. Should have played Pillar there, but it's fine. Then next turn we have green, white, red, blue. So we can play Omnath. We also have the ability to pay here. That's why we didn't play Pillar, actually. So they're going to target that. Oh, we can't pay. We have to pay double. That's fine. Red, white, green, blue. Omnath. Yeah, I've drawn a lot of lands this game. I'm looking for any kind of spell. If we can untap with his Omnath, I think we're fine, because then we can pay and... Is this the exile? Yeah. They've just had all the stuff. Even though they punted their original turn. Like, we haven't drawn enough actual action. I need Deafening Clarion. Is what would be the best right now. It sucked that we had to play... yeah, that's fine. Deafening Clarion, still the GOAT. Here, if we could draw it. Maelstrom Pulse wouldn't be bad either. Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp, Blink My Ketria Triumph would be a pretty good line. Verdict here is also a good out. Jesus, just all the lands. So we can. Yeah, we're dead. Cool. I guess there. Yeah, there's nothing we can draw for 1 mana that does anything. Yeah, we just drew way too many lands there. That's fine. I feel like we played that game fine. We had a couple unfortunate things with the Omnath. So this is definitely a thing where we want a verdict. I like Teferi. I like Fire Spout and Teferi Time Raveler. I'm less big on Bring to Light. I'm less big on Utopia Sprawl. I don't think these are that good. Trophy is a fine answer that I think we like having. We can probably trim the Glittering Wish because I don't think there's anything we really want out of our board with the Glittering Wish. I'd rather just have them in my deck because I don't think we're gonna have time with these Glittering Wishes to, or like extra mana because they're gonna be taxing our mana pretty hard. So let's go with this. We're just trying to trim some fat, get more removal in there so that we can actually draw it. Things that are going to disrupt their board presence. Right there, like if we ever drew anything that could blow up their vial, we had we had a couple turns before we drew the Assassin's Trophy that we drew that I think we would actually just won the game because they wouldn't have been able to play anything else to the board for about 2 turns. But I mean, the fact that they had triple Arbiter and quadruple land destruction lands was pretty rough. And then they also like drew into some actual good stuff after that. Meanwhile, we had a Ren and drew more lands. Uh, and our keep was it was a little suspect, but yes, we will play first. Oof. Yeah, I just don't think we can keep this. It's just way too slow. Hmm. Jeez. That's unfortunate. I think we just have to go to 5. Oh my god. Sure. It's awful. I don't even really value the Utopias for all that much. But I think I have to keep it. Yeah, keep fetch lands because they can get us our other colors. Probably use this to name white. If they just ghost quarter us, like, it's just really unfortunate. But, I mean, we had some pretty awful hands there. Yeah, we can do this to get white, and then we can get a Steam Vents with this to be able to use our Helix. They're just going to go land Ghost Quarter and ruin our day. Alright, Vile. Actual spell. Damn it. Telegraphing this, but might as well just in case of like there's a couple things that could be problematic for us. I probably could have waited on that one and got like the Inditha Triumph. There's our friend Arbiter. Hmm, that's unfortunate. Oh, if we draw Niv, so what this one can, this is green and white. So we need red, I guess we can do this one for blue. Alright, here it is. Oh, nothing. Nothing doing. Me either, friend. Niv. Dang it. We have all the mana in the world. Watch it. We're gonna draw a Ren 6. And it's gonna be the worst Ren 6 ever. Alright. Threes. Don't even think I'm gonna crack this Misty just for the simple fact if we draw a Omnath. Skyclave Apparition. So they're just on like that super reactive hand, I guess. That's fine. That is definitely fine. So let's play Pillar. Blue, green, white. Play Uro. Yeah. That feels really bad for them. Let's sacrifice it first. Put a pillar into play. Pathing their own Skyclave Apparition. Interesting. I get a 1/1. What did they need more lands for? Just not like they. That's weird. Like, why wouldn't. Okay, so I get to hardcast Sword. Still seems loose. So I could fetch here and get another card in the yard, but I still need some more stuff, so it's just not worth it. Because it'd be more important for Omnath. Kaya's Guile. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So now it's probably worth it to just go ahead and crack this for... Still might hold on to it. They can't... Ooh. So let's fetch here. That's a good hit from it. Okay, so we have our stuff for that. So let's overgrown tomb. Yes. Entwine Kaya's got. I didn't even have to fetch. I should have just waited. Green, white, black. That was huge because that was a really good creature too. That was going to be difficult for us to answer. Now we just need to draw any card that we can put in the graveyard for Uro. Stoneforge Mystic. Batterskull. Got it. Gosh. Probably just going to hang on to that. I mean, this wasn't going to be a good attack, so there's no reason to attack with it, even though it can't block. Just racing to find a card for Uro or a way to get some cards in our hand, like a Niv, Bring to Light, any of that would be great right now. Not drawing another land. There we go. Okay, so Bring to Light. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we just need to go for Niv here. That's our best bet. So no. Blue. Green, white, black, red. So, yeah, we've applied all 5 colors. Hold on, I just gotta make sure we did this right because I don't want to mess it up. Green and white, black, blue, red. Cool. Bring to light. Niv Mizzet. Cast Niv Mizzet. Draw some cards. Refuel the hand, baby. We'll take. So let's see. We got. Yeah, we'll take Ren. So Trophy, Uro, Ren. Yeah, we'll play this. And I think we're just going to pass here. We'll get in with this spirit again. They're going to put the Batter Skull into play. And then I'm going to go ahead and trophy the Batter Skull. I think that's the only way we really lose this game. Sword of Fire and Ice is annoying, but it's not going to be killing our creatures because they're too big. And they can't. They're going to have a flyer that can block Niv, and we're fixing to get Uro online, Ren and 6. Sword of Fire and Ice is annoying, don't get me wrong, but I think the life gain from the Batter Skull is more annoying. And the ability that they're going to have to, like, make it a void removal and get it back. Yeah. Card advantage here is pretty nice, though. The thing, if they're attacking with it, they can't block with it, so that says a lot. And we're more so looking to answer the sword, not the Stoneforge Mystic itself. Declaration in Stone. Can I get a clue? Sure. Hoo 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 hoo. That's a card. I have to hope they don't have something that can blink it, but I mean, I guess I still draw a card, so it's still fine. So let's go what? Green, white, blue. Red, blue. Omnath. No responses with either vial, please. Thank you. Why respond now? That seems weird. I feel like you would have responded to the first one. Yeah, I'll just get Mountain. It's fine. Let's just play the Ren here. Green. Ren and 6. And we have all of our shock lands out. We can still get a Triumph. We can still get an Island Swamp. So we can still get an island, so let's get Misty. I guess the Spirit can actually block this, so we'll just hang it back. I think we're good here. We have the Verdict. We have played this game really slow though. I need to play faster. There's just so much stuff to do on all my turns. Pro white too. Okay. Got it. Fine by me. Thalia. Also fine by me. Stoneforge Mystic. What are they gonna go get with this one? They fail to find there? Okay. That works well. Uh, well, I think white, red, blue, or here. I guess that, yeah, we still have it. So blue, Supreme Verdict. Oh, and I have to pay one. Mm. Arrow, blue, green, green, blue. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so keep the regular one. Do these. Put that into play. No point in attacking with the illusion. Yeah, 1, 2 to pay, search, 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 black, red, green, white. Trophy. Trophy the sword. Yeah, this game's over. Totally fun. Out of vegetables. Always hit lands. Alright, I like how we're boarded. I doubt we're going to be able to win this game in just a few minutes, but we'll try it. We might have a busted Omnath turn, never know. We've been taking too long to think about our plays, though, and that's why there is such a discrepancy on the clock. That and this deck's like these matchups like this where they're interacting with your lands and you have fetches are like so reactive, where you have to think about every single little thing you do because if not, they'll punish you really bad for it. Keep. Need to draw one land. We might be able to get there. There is a chance. That's annoying. If they have it, I don't think we're winning here anyway. So the correct play here would have been to leave this up in case they had Arbiter. I didn't have Arbiter there, so I don't think they have Arbiter here. So we're just going to wait, ensure that they don't have Arbiter, and then kill their Archon. Like, I'm even kind of fine to eat the beats here. Now we have to kill the Giver, or... We could get rid of the Vial. That would be nice. Hmm. That Archon's super annoying here. As long as they don't Ghost Court us here, we're fine. Flicker Wisp. Main phase, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Enter again, we'll have it enter tapped. Yeah, the Archon's super annoying here. Alright, so we just need to play Pillar here and pass. I punted here. All right, so we can play Omnath here. Yep, I punted here whenever I got this forest. I should have gotten the plains, because then this would have given me. I would have had the mana to cast Omnath and then fetch and get the swamp and cast Niv. Okay, that was such a punt. That's okay. I still gained 10. I still gained up to 10. Oh, they had lethal too, and they just blew it. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I can't do that. Yeah, we would have won this game too. I firmly believe we would have. Yeah, we would have won this game 100%. That's kind of sad that we lost that game. Because our opponent literally punted it away. There, I punted it away first, but then they punted it away at the end. We would have easily won this because we would have been able to cast uh, Niv this turn, gain 4, uh, cast Niv this turn, and then gain another 4 on their turn. So we would have gained 8 life, and then whatever attacks they have just don't matter. That can make one of their guys protected, so they would get in for 3 probably, and then we would crack back for 9, and then probably be able to use Uro to deal 4 to them, and we'd still be gaining life, and yeah, it's just over. That's kind of unfortunate. So that should have been a win had we if we were playing in paper. I'm pretty sure I would have won that because you can play it a whole lot faster in paper because you don't have to stack your triggers and wait for everything to resolve. But we did play too slow, so that's fine. That shows you how powerful Omnath is. Like that would have brought us back from a very very rough spot, and I actually think that's a tough-ish matchup because you're such a mid-rangey based deck that it's kind of clunky. So I mean, whenever you're playing clunky cards and your opponent's trying to strip mine you, it's pretty difficult. Deck felt good there though. This card is definitely insane. But that was a game. I think if we would have had like 2 more minutes, we were 100% to win that game. I don't think our opponent could have drawn out of it unless they drew like path into path into path, and we got like nothing off this Niv Mizzet or this Uro or this Omnath. I'll play first. Yeah, this hand looks really solid. Is this turn 2 Uro? We don't have the third land, but that's still pretty gross. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep that one. Yeah, let's Utopia sprawl this. And I think I'm going to do this for white. Yeah, and then I can get the... Hopefully I can draw another land here in my top two cards. That would be great. Like land Omnath, that's what I'm feeling. We're on... Oh, that's... Thought that was the companion stuff. So is this Death Shadow? Oh, nice to have a Helix here. It's probably looking at getting Steam Vents here, so that we can use this Helix. This is a pretty disgusting draw from our opponent, but seems really, really aggressive. They took our wish. Interesting. So this is green, white, blue. Sure. Let's get Temple Garden. Oh, I should have got the other one. I punted. Uh, let's make that red. I should have gotten a different color there. I should have gotten the overgrown tomb. Then we would have had green, white, black, red, blue. Gonna feel real dumb if I draw Niv. Our opponent is at 9 though, so I mean, hopefully they also have 7 cards in their hand, so. Oh, they took the uncastable. That's nice. I guess this can't actually kill what they're doing. But if they lose 4 more life, it just kills them, so. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Let's just draw another Helix, please. So this is the unfortunate situation where if they have Tumor Battle Rage, we're just dead. But I think we're just dead anyway if they have Tumor Battle Rage. Like they have to lose 1 life. Uh, I guess we're not just dead. We are, but if they have Tumor Battle Rage and we Helix them, we go to 21. This becomes an 11/11. I just worry about it possibly getting countered. I think we just have to risk the possible counterspell because it gives us more draws to get out of this. I still think I probably fire it off sometime soon. Like if they ever fetch with that, yeah, we fire like to get a red source. Okay, so we're super dead next turn. Cool. So they're at 1. Red and 6. or Lightning Helix. Let's go. Play to your outs, chat. Play to your outs. Play to your outs. What? John O'Nees, let's welcome to the stream, man. How is it going? All right, so Death Shadow definitely wants these Veil of Summers. Ren and 6 is not great against them. We like trophies. Helixes can probably get trimmed a little bit. Don't mean to trim that wish. I don't really care about Will of Sun and Moon. Ashiok is a card that I've is kind of decent against them. We don't need this Deafening Clarion. This does nothing other than give our guys lifelink, which probably at that point is not good enough. Unmoored Ego isn't a card I really want here. Pulse and Kaya's Guile are good. I definitely want Verdict. I kind of like Teferi. Yeah. Ashiok is a consideration, as is something like Thoughtseize. But I don't think Thoughtseizing the Thoughtseize deck matters. We just want to guarantee that we have stuff that's going to be able to come down, answer their threats, and I like what we're doing here. We have some catch-up cards in there. I don't really see myself wanting these wishes. So as bad as Helix is, I think I'd rather have Helix than the wish. I don't know. They could go after our Nivs, so maybe let's leave in one. It's like our fourth copy of Niv. But Helix can like do something like that, like it did, where it just randomly won us the game because they didn't respect it. Helix, Ren, Bring to Light. So I mean, this isn't long for this world. We might be able to get this Ren down early though, and start getting some value off of it. I don't think I can mulligan this hand. I think you just keep decent hands and hope to draw well against decks like this. Opponent said they shouldn't have fetched. I mean, I don't necessarily think the opponent shouldn't have fetched. I mean, because they just kind of, but I mean, I guess they did put out lethal without the Gurmag Angler, so it was like you could play around me drawing exactly removal spell, or play around me drawing. I mean, I guess you just kind of have to think about what's in my deck. Like, they were dead no matter what if I drew another Helix, so they took the Ren there. Smart. There's Glittering Wish. Awkward. What do we even have in our sideboard? I guess we want to yield to the next end step. Oh, so that didn't work. Well, that's a little awkward. So we could go get a green. We could go get a breeding, or we can go get a. I wanted to go get Triumph there. So we could go do that and go get Ashiok and exile their yard for the following turn. Or we could go get Unmoored Ego. We could go get our other copy of Niv. I don't know. We might just kind of hang out on this. Yeah. Let's go get Vista. So now we can get until next end step. Heard. Okay. Gurmy comes down. Alright, so let's get Endothrium here, and then let's get Mountain here. Play this green, blue, red, Uro. We're gonna put out Vista. Alright, looking good. So we have, this is white, black, and green. So that's one of those there. Alright, so they're thought seizing us. They can get rid of any of these. Teferi and Brindalite are both pretty bad for them. I might just bring back Uro here. If we draw a land that can cast it. Which makes me want to get an island here or a forest. We have more forest in our deck, so I'm just going to get island. That's nice. Trying to look at our board and see what we could possibly get. This is the awkward part, is that we have these lands. So our lands are a little messed up. Let's go green. White here with Glittering Wish. I don't know. Yeah, Glittering Wish. And then we're just kind of passing the turn, and then we're going to try and cast Niv Mizzet. That's the plan. And if they have a third Thoughtseize, they can get rid of that. And we still have Brindalite, which means they're going to have a counterspell for it. Which if we draw any green land, or any white land. Oh, they had the Thoughtseize. So they take the Niv, which means they could possibly have counterspell here. Which is what we're trying to avoid. Opponent being very lenient with their life total this time. Alright, that was a great draw. So white, black, 1, and then we still have Veil of Summer for this one. I like that. And we get to hold up Helix. So let's... Each opponent sacrifices a creature, exile all the cards from each opponent's graveyard. I like that. And they know our hand, so they're going to know what to play around. Nice. Yeah, gonna hold on to this helix. Alright. Still holding on. They didn't play anything, so I mean, I think we're still good to hold on and try to bring to light with Veil of Summer back up. Now we're just jamming. Green, white, red. Yeah. Can't do it. That's fine, though. Only way that really punishes us is if they have surgical. Opponent seems like they're flooding pretty hard. Give me red or white land and a third helix. Alright, Gurmy. Tapping out for Gurmy. Alright, so we're just gonna... White, green... So there's lots of options here, but the option I kind of like them. I think it's just Niv. We just Niv them out. They can't keep up now. Yeah. Yeah. Draw all the cards. We have 7. They have 2. Our guy's bigger than theirs, and also lethal. Sure. This looks like straight blue black. So we have them dead all like hella different ways. So let's see. Red, green, Ren. Does he have the counter? Got him with the Ren pings twice. Love it. Ren too strong. Ren's too strong. Uh, yeah, deck looked really good there. I think this deck is definitely like a mid-range killer. Because you're just playing the best cards on curve of every possible mid-range deck, pretty much, other than you're not playing the discard package. Which is just, I think you could. It's just really difficult in a deck that's 5 color to be so heavy black based, unless you're playing like main, like your main removal spell is going to be, you're basically just going to be playing Jund uh, with a little bit of white and a little bit of blue, but because of Uro, you'd rather have that blue. So maybe you're going to be closer to Sultai with a little bit of red and a little bit of white. Yes, we will play first. Triple Bring to Light, 2 Prismatic Vistas, a Pulse, and a Glittering Wish. I think we're going to ship that one, chat. This hand's much better. Keep... Ugh, the decisions. I think it's just the Deafening Clarion. Or maybe it's the Teferi. I don't like so if it really just depends on what it is. I think Deafening Clarion is less good than Teferi, so we'll just bottom it. Let's lead on Plains, because I don't really plan on casting this Wrenn unless I draw a fetch land, and I don't really want to tell my opponent what I'm on just yet, especially if they're on, which they're on Lurrus, so that would have affected my decision a little bit more, but and I probably would have kept our other card. So they have. I need to take these upkeep stops off because I don't care to stop on my upkeep. Puntished. This is fine though. Now we can kind of see what our opponent's gonna play, and I'm fine to like play it on turn, on a later turn and set up our Omnath. Swift Spear. It's fine. One us. So let's just get Triumph here. Probably Ketria. Pillar. Teferi, white, blue, white. Just bounce this back. I know they can trade with it and kill it, but we're just trying to keep as much damage off the battlefield as possible, so them having to sink mana into another threat when they might not have a third land, which is nice. And I don't, because they haven't cracked this Bloodstained Mire is the reason I'm assuming that. Yeah, that's 3 mana Time Walk is totally fine with me. 3 mana Time Walk's 3 mana Time Walk draw a card. Yeah, 10 out of 10 will take. All right, so pillar here. We have green, red. Oh, this white's screwing me. I guess technically here we could just let's just play this and hold up trophy if we need it. I really don't want to trophy. But then next turn, all right. So I think this was actually like this might have been the worst line that I could have taken. I don't know why I did it. I should have played this pillar no matter what, so that I could have gotten the fetch land value off of this. Let's kill this. Green, black. Actually, turn off auto yields. Yield until next end step. We can get our other Triome here, and then just hope we draw a fetch land. But I'm almost assuredly certain that they will take our Omnath because it's just the best card against them. Maybe it's correct in this matchup to just jam Omnath, but I feel like it just like could easily eat a bolt and like a lava dart, and then we just lose out on so much value because even hitting one land drop with it is just 4 life. Yeah. I think the issue I was worried about there originally was that my plan was to go Wrenn into like Wrenn and Trophy, but we couldn't do that with the planes, so we would have had to just Wrenn. So like now we can do both of these. I didn't fetch. I don't know why, but I'm just punting it all the way up here today. Uh, Let's just get mountain or forest. Let's just get forest. Green, red, play Ren, plus on foothills, white, blue, white, play Teferi, plus they're just riding it out. If we ever draw any of our good cards, we can just kind of take over the game here. Opponent has a stacked hand, so they can do a lot. Give me the good old double Swift Spear here. Swift Spear, cling to dust or something. Bolting to Fairy, okay. I was a little afraid about that. But Teferi soaking up that damage instead of us is good. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this. They know we have it. They have discard spells too, so I'm going to feel bad to have them actually capitalize on a discard spell because I'm holding that off for like Luris or something. And like if they just bring back Luris here, I think I'm fine with it. That's like not worst case scenario. That's like the worst case scenario. Here we want to just get steam vents. Helix is not very good. Oh no, I punted. I could have killed it. I could have killed it. Unless they had a spell to lower my life, I could have killed it. I could have helixed and raised it and changed its power and toughness. Could have helixed it, yeah. That's unfortunate. So now they still kind of have to start attacking Rin. Oh, they're just going face. Which is fine by me. This card is an interesting card. It's very similar to Death Shadow and gives you the same weird kind of lines. Yeah. Sure. Yep, just kept drawing lands. I mean, yeah, we could have not fetched there and bought ourselves maybe one more turn, but we can see here they might not attack us for lethal and be afraid that we just have removal plus Wrenn and 6 because we have so many cards in hand. Granted, they should know we have both of these in hand because we got them out of our yard, but I guess we only got these two, right? I can't remember. Maybe they like. Nah, yeah, no, they know. Alright. Veils are solid in this matchup. Supreme Verdicts are great. Trophy's great. Fairy's great. Wish is fine. Find a Trim a Helix. Wrenn and 6 is kind of bad. As we saw there. Don't need Ego. Clarion's okay. I think I'm down on Boring to Light. Just because it's a little bit clunky. I don't know, maybe Bring to Light over Niv. Is a little bit better. Yeah, I can get with this. We just drew so many lands. Honestly, I think this deck would really benefit. Like, I think 26 lands is close to what's right. I think you could probably play 25, though. Like, you just have so many redraws, but you do want to hit your land drops, so that's an important thing, too. So, 26 is probably correct. I'm not one to go against the greater magic minds, so. Sure. I can roll with that. And I kind of telegraph what we're doing here, but yeah. Oh yeah. So spear. Ooh, that was a perfect draw. Yeah, those were some pretty sick rips there. Take your pick. My hand's great. If we draw one more land, or they don't take Wrenn and 6, our hand's insane. Unless they just have. Why would they not play Swift Spear before they thought seized? You know, we're still doing this. So we have green, blue, white, red, black, and then we just need a green source at all, or we can get an extra blue in case. I think we're gonna get extra blue in case we draw Uro. It should be pretty well set up here. Oh, they're supposed to be here. Lightning bolt. Us. Put us to 4. Or we take 4, put us to 2. So we can go to 5. So as long as they don't draw a bolt, we're good. So we can Maelstrom Pulse, or we can Verdict, or we can Uro. Uro means they can't draw a spell, or we're dead. But we could cast Uro the following turn. We can Kaya's Guile, make a blocker. So Kaya's Guile, having them sack 1. Take 4, make a blocker. I think it's Kaya's Guile. Or we could Helix. Helix does the same thing but doesn't block. So that's why we go up to 5. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, and we gain 4. So this just says, yeah, they can't draw a bolt. And then next turn we can Niv. Luris. And they drew land. Okay, so 1 us. We're at 4. So they can go Luris into Shadow and not attack, but then we just get the Verdict. I mean, if we get a chance to ult this Rin, we win. Because we'll just Kyle's Gal for the rest of the game. I don't know what spell they drew. Or what card they drew. So, I mean, it's just like Luris Death Shadow just has to be like the best thing they can do here. Or it's either that or Luris Swift Spear. Either way, we kill all of it. As long as they don't put us to 1, we kill all of it. Or if we draw a pillar. Scourge. Alright. Scourge is a pretty good one. So they have Luris. So the thing is, if we kill that in attack and they get Luris, Swift Spear, and have 1 spell, we're dead, no matter what it is. So I think we just kill the Scourge. Play a Vista. And plus on nothing. And pass. And then next turn we can ult Rin and win the game. Yep, we got there. Sweet. Alright, and I like the way we boarded here. I actually want more Kai's Guiles. The more that I play with this card, the more I want it. Like, it's just so versatile and good in a deck like this. Like right there, if we would have drawn it and could have entwined it, that would have just been absolutely bonkers. And saying it's just a bunch of mana and a lightning helix. Nothing too special, but I think it's worth keeping. They can't blow up lands. Yep, Soulscar Mage. That makes it feel a little bit better. See, we want to get green, blue. I think. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and Utopia Sprawl and hope they don't have discard to follow this up. We're going to choose red. So if they have discard, they get to choose if they want to protect their threat or if they want to go after our threat or go after the veil that's going to potentially get them. No discard spell, no discard spell. Always. So we can make this one also tap for black next turn and then helix one of these two. If they leave us the helix, if not, we're just gonna we're not gonna cast the Utopia Sprawl at all. Yeah, they take the Omnath. So yeah, now we're just on damage control. Oh, that's a good one though. I think we still hold off on it because we don't care if it gets discarded. So we make green red, sprawl that bad boy up for black, play this plains, helix the Soulscar Mage, and now we're good. Croxa. Okay, Croaks is a little annoying, but we'll just get rid of the Veil of Summer that they know we have. Not going to reveal that we have an Uro, unless, like I would have pitched the Uro if I could have escaped it next turn, but we can't, so there's no real point in doing that. But if we draw a Niv, we can cast it. Now we're just going to go empty-handed and green and blue. God, I wish we could cast that, but so proof there that you shouldn't leave the black because we have the least black spells. Probably should have left the red because, you know, we could have drawn Helix, we could have drawn a lot of things. God, that was such a good draw. And we actually cannot cast this Uro right now and we don't have the stuff. We need another land. Green or blue land. That works, I guess. Alright. Please don't kill Omnath. And let me draw a fetch land. Now we can cast our Uro, so we're actually got some business going now. Oh, okay. So let's make green here. Green here. Blue. Blue. Uro. Get rid of all of these. Put a land into play. Gain some life. Three damage to each creature. Creatures I control gain lifelink. Lava darting themselves. I think they punted that. I think they meant the lava dart my Omnath. Oh, why didn't they lava dart my Omnath? Oh, it's so their guys would stay alive. Fine. That's fair. That was a smart play. I don't think it's worth attacking now. I will attack with this Uro when I get the chance, but really looking for like a Niv here. The fact that they had to sacrifice their one of their few lands to do that, and their guys still aren't bigger than ours, is huge. Just gonna keep gaining a ton of life and put myself out of range for these to even be scary while fueling my Uro. This isn't really scary unless they have exactly land bolt to follow this up. It's the only reason this attack makes sense though. It's fun. It's not even worth it. Like, we're gonna gain so much life that these attacks don't even matter. Perfect. Alright, Niv coming back. Great. And let's get a Temple Garden. Sure, we'll pay 2 life because it doesn't matter. Make a bunch of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can red and green. Cast Wrenn and 6. Get back a land. And then we're just going to have all the fun here. Oh, undo, sorry. And they're dead next turn. Cool. Because we can deal 4 with Omnath and then attack for 7. in the air. Because we can do this, this, and then play Uro. This deck's insane when it gets these guys going. Omnath is absolutely. I mean, we're at 37 because of Omnath and Uro. I mean, we're really just chilling in this game. Both attacking, they could bolt them, so like this attack doesn't even matter. Like they would have to. Even if they bolted themselves twice, they're both 10-10s, and like it does. Yeah, my life total is just too high for it to even matter, unless you can give them infect. Sure. Yeah, I mean, like they had the nut hand. That I mean, like that was actually like way better than what I thought they could have. And yeah, they just had no shot there. Well, all right, on to game three. So I mean, what they hit us for what 16? Because those were at that was 16 on that side, and then 6. I mean, yeah, it hit us for 24 and or it was 22. And we just ate it, and we're still at like a comfortable life total. So yeah, Omnath confirmed busted. One thing I do think this deck probably should look into getting is like probably over this card because it's like one of my least favorite cards. I think it's only really in there for the fact that you can wish for it, but I think getting rid of that card for like EE, even though it's not something you can draw, EE is just a really really good card right now. I mean, yeah, that sounds pretty solid. Helix will come later, so will Trophy. So yeah, but I mean, Rin will bridge us into because if we get red here, then we get back to Vista next turn. We can get white, or we can play this Forest and Trophy. It's another Luris deck. It's probably the same deck, honestly. Lots of shadow players today. Lean on Prismatic Vista. I mean, they know what we're on, so. But this Vista, I think we're getting Mountain no matter what. Just because we want to draw, we either want to draw another 1 in 6 if this one gets discarded from our hand, and we already have our green-black stuff. I could see Plains as well. You go for it. It's either one of these two cards right now, because they're the ones we can cast next turn the most effectively. And I just don't think they're very worried about this card usually. It also feels bad for them that like we have inevitability of the fact that like eventually, should we draw lands, we're going to get to play a Niv Mizzet unless they can Thoughtseize one now and Thoughtseize one later. So, oh wow, they take the Helix there. That's interesting. So maybe they're just gonna go on the super aggressive plan right now, or not. This kind of makes me think that I should bring to light. They have Stub. They don't have another discard spell, or they would have fired it off. So it makes me think they have Stub. So let's just play around Stub right now. because there's no reason really not to. But it is one of the few things that really makes sense. All right, so they're straight black red, so they might have actually played me there. Uh, I mean, I black red's the primary colors for these decks usually, but usually they have like a there is a chance they could be playing Grixis. So smart on opponent to put bloated deltas in their deck. Death Shadow, you got it. I'm gonna get a mountain here. And probably just gonna play Forest and go ahead and trophy old boy here. Yeah. And like we still have Ren. I mean, even if Ren gets discarded, we are one land drop away. So like playing Ren here could have like guaranteed it, but I like where we're at here. Uh, I'm still really intrigued as to why they took this Helix, knowing that we couldn't cast it based on what we had in our hand. But we have black, red, this one. So there's the Thoughtseize. This is likely to take a Ren, and we're just inevitable to cast whatever we want here. Uh, we'll probably bring to light for Omnath, honestly. That was the thing here with the Ren too, is like we play the Ren, we plus, and then if they do anything here, we get kind of wrecked. Like if they have any kind of attack into it, it just eats it. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this still puts us down a turn. So we just have to hope that they don't top deck exactly what we don't need them to top deck. So we play Windswept Heath. We play this on Sprawl for blue. Sprawl in the Forest for white. And then this can go get Ketria Triumph. This card's very, very scary. No Tumor Battle Rage, no Lightning Bolt. I think Lightning Bolt does it too. Seal of Fire puts us to 14. 6, 12. That's not enough. That's not enough, barely, but it's not enough. Oh god. Why is that so good? Luris comes to hand. So is the best thing we can do here, because like it doesn't matter. They play Lurus, they get back Seal of Fire. Uh, because we can't. We could verdict and get rid of these, but they play Lurus, they get back Seal of Fire, and we still lose. We can we can go for Omnath. Oh, we didn't fetch. No. I guess it's still fine. We can get whatever here. I guess we could put this on here and make it blue. Get a white source and still bring to light. And then we have to draw a. We can't even fetch though. I don't think there's an out here. I mean, we punted here by not being able to go get the Triumph. So we have to get planes. I guess we could potentially, if we got the fetch line, it would gain us 4 life. So that, I mean, that's the line, yeah. So let's go here, make this blue. So yeah, we have to bring to light for 4. Blowing stuff up doesn't work, so we have to get Maelstrom Pulse doesn't work. Kai's Gal doesn't work. So yeah, we have to get Omnath, hit fetch land off the Omnath draw trigger. Play it, gain 4 life. Fetch again, cast Niv Mizzet. Yeah, that's all we had. Yeah, we did. We didn't really have it out there. I don't believe. So Veils, come in. Verdicts in. Trophy in. Teferian. Ego out. Helix out. Wishes out. I guess we keep one wish in. One bring to light out. Or no, we did it like this, didn't we? Yeah. And one Ren. Pretty sure this is what we did. See, this is another spot. Like, if this fire spout was a Kai's Gal, it's totally getting in the deck. Also been pretty disappointed in these Thoughtseize. I know we haven't really run into the matchup for them yet, but they are taking up lots of sideboard slots. Not that I necessarily think that there's something else we need in this matchup. We just need to not have our opponent draw, two threats into the best two threats. Uh, but that's the one thing I don't like about Scourge is that like it's not affected by your opponent at all. So it's like almost a strictly better Death Shadow because you never have to not play it unless your opponent or you is at 20, and that means you're not doing what your deck's supposed to do. If you're at 20, you're definitely not doing what your deck's supposed to do, and if your opponent's at 20, you're really not doing what your deck's supposed to do. You're not dealing any kind of damage to them. And I guess the counteractiveness to it is that like your opponent can gain life and kill your creatures, but it's like that's still kind of bad. It's just like you shouldn't be able to just go 2 mana 4/4, 2 mana 4/4. Oh, now deal two to you, and they're both 6/6s. It's like almost a better Goif. Because like I'm not even at a low life total. I'm at 14, but they're lethal almost. I mean we're not doing anything until turn 3, but we have lands and Niv Mizzet, so this feels slow. Feels very very slow. But I mean, honestly, as long as they don't hit us with a super aggro draw, I mean, we have Uro. So as long as they don't hit us with like the Thoughtseize, and we don't draw into like nothing. I mean, I think this is a risky-ish keep because it is slow. We're not doing anything early, but we have lots of draws that make this good. I'll yield to the next end step. Thoughtseize? Bowmat Courier. Spice. A long time since I've seen that card. Oh, brutal. Best Goblin God ever. I don't really think it matters what we get, but I'm going to prioritize green and blue because of Uro. That's nice. This Vista's getting planes 100%. And then we're probably just chilling here. Kind of want to bounce this Bowmat Courier next turn or play Uro. If I draw another land, I'm guaranteed playing Uro because then we just go Uro and a Niv, which is really good. Scourge is annoying. So I think the best thing to do here is to just... Oh my gosh, why didn't we do this? I guess that's actually fine. I gotta quit doing that though, I'm not paying attention. Play Uro, gain some life. Make the Scourge smaller. pretty much any other land too because of the pillars being able to produce whatever color we need. But just like any other land, we play Niv, and I don't even know. Maybe we just play Teferi and bounce the Scourge next turn, or the Bomat Courier. I would love for them to just not play a land, play a second Scourge here, and pulse the crap out of those, but Cleansing Wildfire, sure. I still get to search though. So, I mean, we just need green. So, I guess we want to get our least needed source, so we get black. Because we have the most green, blue, and red in our deck. So, really, we just need any green source, plus a lot of other things that are untapped, get us here next turn. The one land we didn't need. Play into the Triumph. We can Teferi. Bounce the Scourge. I like Teferi bounce Scourge. I don't think Uroing here is that important. Doesn't change the Scourge's life total. Or the Scourge's power and toughness. Alright, so we're guaranteed to cast a Niv next turn. With Veil backup. Not that that really matters now. Veil's kind of poo-poo. If we got discard spelled here, we could cast Uro, most likely, because they're probably going to kill our Teferi. I love how ineffective this Bomat Courier's been. Because like it can draw them 4 cards later, but by the time it's drawing them 4 cards, either we've already lost the game because they have good cards or not. Like, if they pitch 7 to draw 4, then that means their hand's just god awful. They do have a lot of cards in hand, though. Mainly because they haven't done much. Cleansing Wildfire on our Triumph. You got it. Yes, I will use that ability. Forest or mountain? We'll get forest. Because Uro. Oh, they found a land. And we know they have a Scourge in hand. Swift Spear. Why wouldn't they play that? They must have just drawn it off the Cleansing Wildfire. It's the only thing that makes sense there. So we can play this other Uro. gain some life, and Helix the Bomat Courier. Just to keep them off of all these cards if they decide they need them. And we're still protected through the Niv. So let's go blue, green, and blue. Oh, no, no, no. So we need green, blue, and black. Uro. Pillar. Alright. Now we can go red, white, Helix. And pass the turn. We have Veil. And now I think we're in pretty good shape in this game. We have Veil. Next turn we can Niv, and then we can follow it with an Uro. Yep, bolt us. Gaining 6 life there is pretty good, though, I would say. This deck does a great job of just incidental life gain. Yep. Just Veil and draw a card here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I'm down. Niv. Draw all the cards. Sweet. Trophy. This Scourge. Actually, wait. And yeah, I think we're good here. We're gonna get to cast an Uro next turn. And can we Omnath into Uro? If we draw a fetch land, we can. Yeah, we can. We can play Ren, bring to light for Omnath, and then play Uro. Unearth. That's no fun. Nobody likes an Unearth. If it's gonna be bolt this and trade, I'm fine. We're so ahead on cards. No, that's totally fine. That's saving me a lot of life. Instead of taking 6 and my Niv Mizzet takes 6, yes. Bomat Courier again. Alright, so we can go. Put this over here. Make it red. Red. Green. Ren. So then if we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, did it, played the fetch land, and the fetch land would also tap, yeah. Misty can go get a land. Yes. And then blue, black, white, red, green. Omnath. Cast Omnath. Draw a card. Misty. Blue, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can't do anything with the stuff that's left, so we'll just pass. But that was an insane turn, and we're going to get to do the same thing again. We're going to get to 4 of them again with Omnath. And we should be able to get above the... We should be able to kill their Scourge just with these guys next turn. Oh no, they killed my Uro. Why would they do such a thing? Yeah, I really don't know. I actually don't know why they killed the Uro. Like, I can have 1,000 million... Oh no, did I just die? Did I just die? Please tell me I didn't just die. I die to the trick if they have it. Let's fetch there. Just get a mountain. Oh, land. I forgot to get the other land. Lol. Uro. Blue. green, blue, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. I'm an idiot. I got the wrong land too. Just going through the motions here, folks. Put that land into play for them. Then pulse this. Bounce that. All the things. Yeah. Flawless victory. I mean, it's insane how much life this deck can gain just by making some land drops and playing some Uros. Like Uro Omnath is an engine all in itself. Like you really don't even need Niv. Niv is just like the top end. It's the refuel card because like, which I mean, Uro and Omnath are both kind of refuel cards as well, but they are a lot lesser. Like Omnath only draws you the one card right off the way, and it just fuels the fact that you can cast all the stuff you get off Uro. And then Uro's the one that's going to draw you a ton of cards. And then Niv is just that's all it does is draw you cards. So yeah, no, this deck's insane. Uh, I mean, it's still like I don't think people should think Omnath is the insane card. Like Omnath is busted. I agree. Like it's not a card that is uh, not good by any means. That's definitely not. But I think Uro is the thing that fuels these piles like this that just want to do everything. Because I mean, Uro's always as long as you draw Uro is always good. Like even just 3 mana draw a card, explore. Like 3 mana explore, gain 3 life is just a good enough card. I think if you made 3 mana, if you made this card a uh, like the same card that wasn't a 6/6 that you could play for 4, and it was just a normal old explorer but gained you 3 life, it probably still see a lot of play in ramp decks without being a way to win the game. And they just tagged on a way to win the game to it. What's better though? Being that's a real question. What's better, being a way to win the game or being a we could do nothing. We could do nothing. This is pretty good though. Against discard, I don't think I can reasonably say no. We just have to hope they don't discard us turn 1, which usually isn't a line out of this deck unless they don't really have much else going on. They draw like the Death Shadow part of the deck. God, can you imagine how good this deck would be if they had the Horizon, like the Canopy lands in black red? And could just throw those in here too? Yeah. Oh, so good. My opponents always have the nastiest, like, sequenced draws whenever I play against this deck. They just always have, like, the Swift Spear into Bobble or the Soulscar Mage into Swift Spirit Thoughtseize. Like, so good. Alright, well, we're insulated to discard pretty well. Which card? Discard. I think we're going to go with blue in case we draw an Uro. Which would not be a bad draw. Like, if the top of our deck was Uro land, I think we are going to absolutely win this game. Scourge. That's about as good as, yeah. So this is green, blue, red. We get super punished by cleansing wildfire, but there's nothing really else we can do. Don't wildfire me, bro. Please don't wildfire me. Not gonna look. Not gonna look. Just attack me. Oh, I have to. Yeah, go to combat. Yes, bash me. Bash me real good. Play a guy. Yes. Yes, we're doing it, chat. We are doing it. Mom nom nom nath. Draw a card. Prismatic Vista. Gain 4. Make our friends a little smaller. Sacrifice this. Go get a... so we have some options here. And I think the best option is still just to... Yeah, I think this is still just the best option. We'll get Swamp because that guarantees us all the manas to do stuff. This is turn 3, guys. Turn 3. Bring to light 4/5. We could go get a Niv here, but I think the best thing to go get is going to be Maelstrom Pulse. Targeting Scourge with Skyclaves. And that is how you turn 3 in Modern. Cast 9 mana worth of spells. Or, sorry, 12 mana worth of spells. Welcome to Modern. Yeah. Oh, guys, I haven't even been keeping up with the record. You can tell I haven't been streaming in a long time. I apologize, guys. I knew it felt like this was too easy. We are 2-1 currently. Unearth, Coming back. Guess who's back? Back again. Scourge is back. He's annoying. We can kill their Scourge now. Because Omnath's gonna gain enough life. I'm actually okay with this trade. Because we can... Yeah. Seal me, bro. Perfect. Now we get to trade with their Scourge by gaining life. Ugh. So good. So good. Second Omnath. Draw a card. Prismatic Vista. Gain 4. Kill your Scourge. Fetch. Let's get an island. Make some manas. Bring to light for 5. Get our good friend Niv in here. Get Niv in on the action. Jesus. With the draw 6. Uh. Oh my. It's too much value. It's too much. I can't. Yeah. The fairy just doesn't matter at this point, and I'm not wishing for anything. Oh, that was gross. That was gross. That's the power of this deck. 3 and 1. Let's see if we can get this sweet 4-1. Now that I remember to change the records. All right. Let's finish strong here. Niv's pretty nasty now. Not even gonna lie. This card's stupid. I mean, what we gained 4 life and bring delighted for Maelstrom Pulse on turn 3, and then we gained 4 more life and went back up to 20 to kill a Scourge and bring delighted for Niv and drew 6 on turn 4 off of a second, and we even let them kill our Omnath. Wow. You won the die roll. Yeah, dude. This hand's sketch. We're not really doing anything. Ego's also like a card that we only want when it's good. And like while we have like the turn 5 nuts, we're not doing anything before that. This really leans on how good is Ego and how... I think I'm gonna try it. We're on the play. If we were on the draw, I definitely wouldn't. But we can try and slow roll a little bit. So like it's good if we play against discard. If we play against another freaking shadow deck, I swear. The Death Shadow League. It's all. And that friends, that is how you beat discard, is you keep hands with mono 4 and 5 drops. and let your opponents only take bad cards with their discard spells. Alright. So we're going probably since we already have the breeding pool. I don't know. I'd really like Uro here. I guess Inithitrium's still a green source. We already have white. But that guarantees us black. Of course, so does this. This guarantees us red. And we need the red. Yeah, we need red more for Omnath. So let's get Ketria Triumph. Okay. I mean, they know our hand, so no use in it. We're just kind of showing them that we didn't draw any 2-drops that matter. Nothing going on over here. Just hoping you don't. And like, since this is Grix's Death Shadow, feel a little bit better about that. No 2-drop for our Death Shadowy friends. Welcome to Modern. I think we're just going to turn this breeding pool into a Simic Growth Chamber. For green. I guess we'll do it for... So we have red here. We'll have white here. Yeah, so it either has to be green or blue. So I think we're just going to go with blue here. Sorry, guys, I thought I heard something in my house, and I was like, what's going on? So we're just going to pick blue, play our planes, and pass. Now, next turn, we're hoping we can draw a fetch land. But even if not, next turn we're going to jam Omnath. Or that. I think we'll jam that. That one seems pretty good. So green, blue, black, white, red. 5 colors. Turn 4, Niv Mizzet. Concede. Concession. God, this deck's sweet. So let's get this Unmortigo out of here. Trophies back in. Down a Helix. If you don't know how to board in after this video, I don't know what to tell you because we've done it a bunch of times. I like Veils. I like Verdict. Teferi down a Rin. Down a Niv. No, not in this one. This one we go down the Bring to Light because of Stub. Beautiful. One of these days we'll play where these Thoughtseizes actually matter and these Ashioks. I do think that if I was to change this list up any, I would get rid of this Fire Spout. I just don't care. I think making them sack a creature and gaining 4 life, or sacking a creature and make a blocker, is almost just as good as Fire Spout a lot of times against the aggro decks with this deck, because you just kind of need to buy a turn sometimes. This hand seems solid. Keep. Turn 2 Teferi, and we get to keep a actual... Yeah, we get to keep an actual hand. So I think we're going to go... We'd go Temple Garden off this into Sprawl, and then we can either play tap land Helix. Yeah, I still think that's what we want to do. Helix doesn't really matter, actually, so I still think we're going to do it, though. Because this will give us our green source and our red source. This gives us white, black. This gives us one other. So we just kind of need to draw any land that. Yeah. Utopia Sprawl here. And we're going to do it for red. That way we just have a helix land. Yep. Thought Scour, Garmag, Street Wraith. Opponent's really not doing much over there. Oh, Thought Scour again. Gurmy? Okay. That makes sense. I was like, gosh, just nothing. We get to punish our opponent super hard here too, which is great. I would like to tap my forest for white red and my this for blue. So Fairy Time Reveler. Bounce that. This deck's too good. This deck is insane. Insane in the membrane. Cake Man. That's pretty solid. I mean, not the greatest play I've ever seen, but pretty solid. I like where we're at here, just playing this and then playing Niv next turn. We have all of our removal options available to us to see what we're gonna do here. Another Thought Sour. Playing a Scalding Tarn. You got it. We can't play around stub here, so I think we're just gonna tap out and go with this because it's the cleanest answer. And I think it. So they sacrifice a creature. We make a 1/1. Cycle Street Wraith looking for the stub. Let's go. Yeah, opponent just didn't have the stuff. And yeah, they just concede. Sweet, guys, we did it. Nice. Sweet 4-1. With one heck of a new deck that is going on here. I mean, this deck felt this is very close to Edgar Magayesh, I believe is how you say his name. His deck that he's been playing with Niv. He said he was 15-0, been doing really well in the leagues. I liked the list. List felt good. The only thing I changed from the list that he was playing is I'm only playing 3 Omnath because I don't want to get flooded. This card reminds me of a card like Azusa in Primeval Titan, where it's like I mean, obviously it's better than Azusa, but it's one of those cards where like it does a lot if you have lands, but if you don't, it's not that great. Obviously, this is like a 4-mana 4/4 that can attack and draws your card, so it's a little bit better. But I don't necessarily want the four because I don't want to get flooded on them. Because if I have one in play and I don't have lands that are triggering it, it's not going to do as much. Obviously, the Omnath's busted, so you want to have as many as possible. But I think three is a good number. And by doing that, it opened me up to being able to play one Supreme Verdict on the board, which we saw a lot of times was very important, especially with these shadow decks. The shadow decks and with the Scourge and the Skyclave, all that stuff. Uh, Supreme Verdict is very, very good against those kind of decks. I mean, and you saw how good our list was just against that. And I mean, we basically we should have 5-0'd, honestly, other than the fact that we uh, messed up in the first part and played a little bit too slow against Death and Taxes. But Verdict, I think, is very good. Clarion is a card that I think you have in here because it's decent and it has some utility. But Verdict is just your answer all removal for if you need to catch up. It's great with Bring to Light, and you can cast it pretty easily in this deck. But the only issue with playing Verdict in your main is that you had access to Gigantha. And Gigantha as a companion, I just don't think you need it. I don't think there's any times in any of those games where you're just like, oh my gosh. I mean, there might have been one right there where we drew too many lands, and we could have, got a Gigantha one turn and then played it the next. But I still don't think it was just going to help us win the game necessarily, other than maybe buying us a turn. And I don't think 8 mana buy myself a turn is, even if it's over 2 turns, isn't where I want to be necessarily, because most of the time this you're pretty well fueled with your hand and everything, even through discard and stuff. We kept a hand that was like Ren, one other spell, 5 lands, and or maybe it was Ren. It was Ren 4 lands, like Bring to Light Helix, which I think is a fine hand. And then they discarded our Bring to Light, and then discarded. And then like Helix wasn't very good against them, or we had to use the Helix. But then we like drew another in, and then drew a ton of lands. So obviously those are games where the deck's just you're kind of hitting the fail rates of the deck because you're just not drawing your actual threats or the things that can draw you into your threats. Uh, but I don't think Gigantha is good enough to warrant not playing the Supreme Verdict, and he was already playing one Verdict in the board to board into. Uh, and I think just being able to board into like kind of that money tribal deck package, where you're more of a control deck, except for this way you're being 5 colors instead of being the usual 4 color variant. I think you're more grindy. You have better routes to win against fair decks because of Niv Mizzet and Omnath and Uro and things like that. But I think that Supreme Verdict's something you need to have in your main right now. So that was the only change I made. That and I cut one Ren and six. Uh, Same thing. Like Ren and six is only good when you have lands that you can get with it. Right now in modern, at least, because there's not a lot of X ones running around. And that might change, and you might be uh, interested in playing the fourth copy. I did it. I cut it so that I could play the second copy of Trophy in the main, which Trophy was also in the side. But I think having trophies now, similar to having verdicts, we just need removal that hits everything. And I think having Trophy and Verdict in the main definitely helped us today. With all the different Shadows decks that Helix is just gonna not, it's not gonna answer their threat. Helix is a good card, but I could very well see us moving more towards Trophy and Supreme Verdict, and like another Kai's Guile. I wouldn't be upset to cut a Lightning Helix for a Kai's Guile. Uh, and I definitely think that I want to cut this Fire Spout for Kai's Guile because I have Clary and 2 Verdicts to help wipe the board. That I don't really need the third early sweep or the fourth. I guess this is the second early sweeper that I think I can probably just do just as good with Kai's Guile. Uh, Other than that, though, I mean, I think the deck was great. We didn't really get to see how good Thoughtseize was here. But I do think Thoughtseize is a very good card here. It's mainly for the combo matchups, this deck, because it doesn't interact any other way than just like with the board. It doesn't have counter spells. It doesn't have so like by that I mean it doesn't interact on the stack. It doesn't interact in the hand. It doesn't interact you know in a like win the game outside of combat type way. Other than outvaluing your opponent, and if they just concede before you kill them, that's fine. But so combo decks like things like Adnos, Storm, other things like that are really really difficult for this deck. Uh, and that's why you have the main deck on More Ego so that you can go get it with Bring to Light. It's also why you have the one on the side so you can go get it with Glittering Wish. This is almost never actually boarded in because it's better to have 3 copies of it, or like 2 pseudo copies and 1 copy of it to go get it on for a turn 3 so that you can play it and stop your opponent. We didn't really get to see the Thoughtseize Ashiok stuff. Like Thoughtseize and Ashiok would have came in against something like Amulet or any of the Titan-based decks, Scape Shift stuff. I think Thoughtseize probably. I'm not sure what Edgar's doing for Thoughtseize versus Control, but I could see it there alongside the Veils. The only other change I think, as I added because he was playing Gigantha. I cut the Gigantha and played a Veil over it, and I liked having the Veil. There's a lot of discard in the format and a lot of other fair decks. And like I said, usually against fair decks, if you can resolve one of these and get going, you're just good to go. Like Omnath, obviously, like you need to resolve it and be able to make a couple land drops. But being able to just like resolve one Niv or one Bring to Light and refuel your hand might just be enough to win the game. So I definitely think that this deck is well positioned moving forward. Will of Sun and Moon is your graveyard hate of choice, along with Ashiok. I don't think this deck's great against graveyard hate, per se. But I do think like stuff like Will and Sun of Sun and Moon is really good against Mill. But it also is a way to hate out on certain graveyard decks, and then you also have Ashiok that can hate out on those same decks, as well as Unmoored Ego that can start taking away certain permanents or certain things that they might have that are coming back that are going to be annoying. Like if you just named Unmoored Ego on Prized Amalgam, and then Unmoored Ego on Silver Smoke Ghoul, the matchup's going to get a whole lot easier because that's what they're usually beating you down with. Uh, but other than that, yeah, I think this deck is sweet. I think we're definitely gonna play it on the stream more. I'm interested to see where this list goes, and definitely excited to try it. So thank you guys for hanging out. Everybody hung out during the stream, and that was here to check out what we got going on. We're gonna try to start posting to YouTube a little bit more often. So those of you that are watching this on YouTube, thank you. Please like and subscribe. Any of you that are watching this on Twitch, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that bell icon and leave a follow or subscribe. But hit that bell icon, that way you can get notified anytime that we go live. You can also follow us on the Twitter account at SirCheesy2Great, just like it is right here above my head. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks. Stay cheesy.